Good morning, everyone. It's Trader Rob. Today is Thursday, May 21st. Hope everybody's having a good morning. I had a rough one yesterday for sure. A rough day trading. I ended up taking a nice trade with my in my Signal Live trading room after the YouTube stream, but was still in the red, about $500 yesterday, $600. Ended up blowing up. My Tradeify accounts are all in really bad shape. I ended up having a copier issue. Instead of 5 micros, it ended up taking one of my losing trades with 5 E-minis, which was pretty crazy. But it is what it is. I ended up taking a trade here early this morning. Saw a nice little short off this key level here at the 74.33. Ended up getting stopped out here for 4 points. Got really, again, ticked out by a tick just to see my target was at the 22s right here. So not at target yet, but again, saw the short. It's kind of been the theme for, I guess I could have probably had my stop a little bit higher, but a little unfortunate. So off to the morning with a $200 loss there. And it was just on one account. So I'm going to switch over here to my trading group, which is going to be this guy. Let's just get all the accounts here. Good. All right, ready to go. All right, so those 2 big bands on the NQ are gone. We've pretty much, I mean, price really has stayed contained over 3 days between those 2 bands that I had put up on there. Key levels at the 29,397, the 278, and the 252. And then we do have a piece of buyer unbalanced volume that's sitting between the 957s and the 914s with a key level at the 929. And another key level at the 28,899 on the NQ. And then the ES. ES, we've got key level at the 74.58. 74.33, which I did already. I told you I tried a short right here. That took a loss there by a tick again. Excuse me. Below that, we do have a kind of a smaller unbalanced volume band. Not as strong as my weekly, not as strong as my daily. But there should be a reaction here. So I'll take a look for scalps in this area here as well. 73.97 to the 73.89. Key level at the 73.77 and the 73.56. So that's the ES. In gold, we've got a buyer band at the 44.78 to the 44.68. Selling band here at the 45.67 to the 45.60. So this is sellers. Another selling band here at the 46.16 to the 46.07. That's gold. We got some high impact news here this morning. So we've got S&P or I'm sorry, no. First one we start off with is U.S. initial jobless claims in about 20 minutes here at 7:30 a.m. Central Time. 15 minutes after the market open, we've got S&P PMI services and manufacturing. And it's about it. We've got a Fed speaker at 11 a.m. Keith, good morning. Gene, good morning. Rob, good morning. Nature and Destiny, good morning. J Loves, good morning. And Mini Trader, good morning. And again, as much as I would hate to see this go to my TP, my initial thought on this short was a short to the 74.22. Originally had my target at the 74.20s, but then I moved it up to the 74.22s. So as much as it's going to hurt me seeing this go down into the 22s, I'd like to at least know that my thesis was correct here on the short, but we'll see. Obviously, we've got news in about 17 minutes, so again, just so you guys can see where my entry was. My entry was right here. I was taking a short here. You see where my stop was at. So they stopped me out by a tick. And my target was right down here at the 22s. See if I can get the opacity down a little bit on these bubbles, because it does make my the wicks a little harder for me to see. Let's try it at 50%. See how that. Got a question. Was it a AVT setup? So that's exactly what I was looking at. That was at 6:30. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? No, I'm on the 30 range, sorry. Why is that 30 range? Hold on. So this is where I got into the trade. And I took my entry right around here-ish. Again, probably should have had my stop sitting up at the break of structure here. All I needed was like I said, another tick. 2 ticks. I had my 4-point ATM, 6-point ATM take profits set, moved my TP down. This is where I got my stop out. And of course, got the stop out right on the flip candle. So, a bit unfortunate, but make sure my... It's fucking bizarre. It's really strange. My ES charts on NinjaTrader have been acting very strange. Nothing's wrong with the NQ charts. Yeah, I like that opacity better. Yeah. But I guess, you know, if you kind of think about it, it's kind of been the story of the last 2 days of trading. At least for me. But I'm going to stay aggressive today. I'm going to see, definitely wait for the market to give me some good signals here. Just keep taking the setups and the rest should take care of itself. All right, 10 minutes here to news. Oh, would have came right there, about a tick from where my TP was set at. And again, great, really nice risk to reward. Those 4 points to make 10. I'm sorry, 8. NQ right now has got some it's got some space before at least any major liquidity buyer seller zones. The news at 7:30 really didn't cause much of an impact. Those came in a little bit better than expected. So U.S. initial jobless claims, they were anticipating 210,000, came in at 209. The housing starts, pretty much everything to do with housing was pretty positive here as well. More housing starts than anticipated, more building permits than anticipated. They were anticipating a negative 5.3% housing starts. That changed to about 2.8. More building permit changes. So again, next piece of high impact news is going to be at 8:45. We did have some headlines this morning on Iran. Iran's supreme leader, uranium must stay in Iran. So the uranium that they've enriched to pretty close to weapons grade, they want that to stay in Iran, where I think one of the items in the negotiations was that they had to remove all of their uranium. At least I think it was weapons grade or close to it. Funny little game we play here. So again, my short was right here, targeting the 74.22s. I did get stopped out by a tick, exactly one tick, and my target, I think it was exactly at the 74.22s. Could have been 74.22 and a tick or something like that, which would have been great. But let's just see what that. Let's just see what this candle's low was. Candle's low was 74.22 on the tick. Telling you, man, this game is. This will make you. Let's see what that entry was at. 31. No, it was almost 10 points. Yeah, I remember seeing it. I could have swore it was 10 points. And again, risking 4. Now that I think about it, I think it was maybe 74. I think it was maybe 74 20, and maybe it was 74 20.5. 74 22. Or was it at the 20s? No, I think it was at the 22s. Morning, Joe. So one of my Signal members said that they're going to consider taking a short on the ES at the 51s, which I absolutely love your train of thought. But I do have a few concerns. I would say if you can tighten that up to maybe the 54s and cut your risk a little bit tighter, because we also do have this key level sitting right up here that does have a very good amount of liquidity right now. So that could act as a magnet right here, but I absolutely do love that that area. The 51 area, again, I would say if your entry could be around the 54s, you can reduce risk here. So maybe about, I don't know, you probably have to be around the 62s. Because if you come in on the 51s with like a 4-point stop, you've got a big, it's less probability here, in my opinion. But I love that area. I think we're looking at the exact same thing. This is probably what you're looking at right here. Right there. And that. That's pretty much what I see as well, but again, this area right here looks very hairy to me. I could want to tap into there. Now, if I was to get like a sweep pattern here, phenomenal. If you get a tap and go, phenomenal. But if price even extends a little bit into this area right here, unless you can tap into the 54s, you gotta be super careful there, Nordic. I don't think I'm muted. Rob, can you guys not hear me? My mic's on. And above here, if we take a look a little bit further, you do have liquidity sitting up here up top. It's a tough little trust me, I wanted to mark this up. In fact, I was looking at marking this up. It's going to be a very, very tough situation there. Again, if we can get a sweep and go, awesome. Or a tap and go, awesome. But anything coming up in here, it could just very easily be like this, which has hurt me the last couple of days, to be honest with you. It's just been, I've been seeing the moves really, really well. It's just, you know, comes right back down, taps in. In fact, the trade that I took yesterday with my signal group, I was in with 2 contracts. This is kind of interesting here. What's going on here now? I think this is all accumulation right here, to be honest with you. I don't see a trade forming from here. But the trade that I took yesterday with my signal members, I think I took about 8 points on 2 contracts. I think the first contract I took off at about, I don't know, maybe about 4 points. The second one I took off, I think, at around closer to 12 points. So, you know, kind of averaged them out around 7 or 8 points. But again, even that trade got pretty hairy. Got really close to my stop. And then we finally, it was a continuation long. We got to the top part of that band that we've been kind of playing with. And I told my members, I'm like, you know, if we get a pop here, it should be a pretty strong one. And sure as shit, I think within like a couple of minutes, we got, I don't even know if I can see this on my, it was probably around 11. It was maybe around 10:40 yesterday. Oh, it was right here. Right here. So I was long right here. I remember my band was right around here. I told my members there was 535 contracts sitting right here. And it was right at my entry. I think it was right smack at my entry. Actually, no, my entry was at the 30s. I know this exactly. But my entry was at the 74.30s. I had my stop below right here. So I remember this this bubble here with a lot of volume coming in. So my stop was at the 74.24s. So I was risking about 6 points right there. And you can see how close it came to my stop. I mean, it was like a point, half a point sometimes away. And then I saw the liquidity come in while I was in this trade right here. It was exactly 535 contracts that came in. And I told my my trading room, I'm like, if you know, this is going to be obviously the make or break, but if we can absorb this, then we're going to see a really nice move into the upside. I mean, granted, yes, I didn't capture this entire move, but I did capture a really good amount of it. I think my TPs were somewhere right around here. I think my first TP was right around here, and then my second contract was right around here. Like yesterday's IB, the initial balance trade yesterday, that one hurt. You know, that was a big slap to the face. That was on an E-mini. So that was a $300 hit on each account. I took an ES trade. My first ES trade was the same thing. Stopped out by I think, what was it, like a tick or a point yesterday? Just to go see my TP get hit. Went to break even, I think, on the last trade on the ES. That proved actually to be pretty smart. But I was watching the rerun of the stream last night, and that short that I was in at best 8 points of profit. And you know, I had that little gold box that I wanted to shoot for my TP. But again, I mean, 8 points. At 8 points, I don't know why I should have just gone to break even. I mean, I didn't lose on that trade because I did go to break even, maybe plus a tick or minus a tick. But I probably should have captured some of that move. Actually, I couldn't because I was on an E-mini. I was on one E-mini, so I really couldn't scale out of that one at all. John King. So I purchased an indicator bundle from a company called, let's see if I can pull them up. It's called Steady Turtle. It's a fucking dumbass name, but I mean, I guess I kind of get the, relevance of it. Turtle wins the race. No, that's a web hosting. There we go. So this is the site. I had bought a bundle pack from them for my initial balance trades. That, you know, it brackets the first 60 minutes of the market. And it came with a few other indicators. I honestly I didn't end up using it. It was a waste of, I think it was $129. I don't like it. But they sent me an email that they came out with a big trades bubble. Kind of like how Deep Trades has on their charting. And it was $49. So I figured, all right, I'll give it a shot for $49. It wasn't included in, I didn't buy the complete bundle, because if you buy the complete bundle, it's pretty cool. Any new indicators that they put out, you get it for free. Any updates are for free. But again, for $49, I said, okay, I'll try it out. And I like it. I think it's better than NinjaTrader's. NinjaTrader's also has an indicator which is called Big Trades, I think it is. No, it's called Big Trades. It is called Trade Detector, Order Flow Trade Detector, which you do need to have the order flow add-on or a lifetime license on NinjaTrader to get this. But and this is very not customizable at all. So what the order flow trade detector does is that it combines volume. It combines volumes. It makes it, I always have a hard word saying this out loud, commutative, where it brings in buyer and seller, and then kind of gives you like who won the battle there. And it'll paint it red or green or whatever color it is that you put it. This, on the other hand, separates the big trades. So this will, you know, show you buyer and seller. Now you have the option. I think I have it on commutative. No, I don't think I do. I think I have it on individual. Yeah, that's the setting I have it on. So there's aggregated, which is the word I was trying to say before. That's an easy one for me to say. Aggregated will aggregate the buy and sell volume, and then kind of give you who won, who had the bigger result there. Individual puts them separate, buy and sell. And again, for $49, I think it's pretty good. Is it great? Is it perfect? No. It's very resource heavy. So again, if you've got a slower internet connection, or not an internet connection, but if you've got a slower PC, you know, it needs to be running really good RAM. I think the video card also has a big function to do with that, the processor. Because I will say, when this is running, it takes the charts probably an extra 2 minutes to load in the morning. And again, no big deal if you're starting off, you know, I start 3 hours before the market opens. But, you know, if you get in a situation where you're like, something happens on your chart, you got to restart, just know that you're not going to get into trading for at least 4 minutes. Because it takes me, from the time that I load my NinjaTrader chart, it takes me, before it would take me about 1 minute and 30 seconds for it to fully load all my charts. And I have a lot. So not individual windows, but actual charts. I probably have 3, 6, 10, 13, 17, 20, 23, 26, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 35 charts in total. Now, they're not all in individual windows. Like this main screen you guys see, this has 10 charts, 10 tabs, which each one with a chart. And I mean, I've got footprint charts, which again are more, whenever you're dealing with order flow, it's going to be a little bit more resource intensive. So, I mean, I probably have 20 something footprint charts up throughout all my monitor setup. I've got 7 monitors. And my PC is, again, I built it in November. It's, my son actually wants, he's like, Dad, if you sell the parts that are inside the monitor, inside the computer right now, you could probably buy 2 brand new computers with it. Because apparently the RAM that I put into this PC was the top of the line RAM that you could buy in November. And apparently the cost of RAM has gone up by almost 10 times the amount. So like a stick of RAM that I have in the PC is worth, I think it's over about $1,200 right now. And I think I only paid for this machine. I built it myself. I built all the parts. I think everything together without the monitor setup for the studio down here, I think was about $1,800. So just know it is going to be a little bit more resource intensive on the, especially with these bubbles here. Could you upgrade it? You could always upgrade your PC, yeah. You got to make sure, you know, if you bought like an older gaming PC, those are pretty easily upgradable. You know, if you've got a decent CPU, like at least like an Intel 7 and higher, I would say. Hopefully you would have like an Intel 10. I went with AMD for my processor. I've always been Intel, but I went with AMD for my processor, and I mean, it's super fast. It's, I think, a 16 core. It was 16 or 12 core. It's super fast. I've got, you know, the radiator cooling system on it. My video card is insane. It's not NVIDIA card on this PC. It's an AMD graphics card. But it can, just on the card itself, can hold 6 DP connections. So straight right to the monitors. There's no splitting, there's no nothing. It can handle 6 right from the get-go. The digital port on there. And yeah, you can upgrade them. I mean, right now, like I said, the cost of memory is pretty insane, and it's all being driven by the AI data centers. Apparently, from what my son told me, they're hogging all the memory, pretty much everything PC related for server application. Key, I think I have 64. Let's see if this will tell me. System. Yeah, 64 megs of RAM. '16 core processor. And I'm using the AMD Radeon Pro 7, 16 gig graphics card. And the RAM helps. I mean, the single easiest upgrade you could do to your trading PC or your PC in general is going to be RAM. But you also got to remember that a lot of the computers are limited to either 16 or 32. So, you know, if you want to upgrade, you know, to 32, sometimes you're capped at 16. Sometimes you're capped at 32. If you're capped at 32, I would go to 32 at the minimum. Yep. See if the buyers can get through here, or if the sellers are going to kind of overtake them in this area here on the ES. It's been pretty seller controlled. The market looks a little finicky right now. $74.25s have a good amount of liquidity sitting up here as well. Which equates pretty damn close to where I said that this is going to be an area. We'll keep an eye here. So Shine said that they paid for 16 gigs. They paid he paid $148 for 16 gigs, and now they're over 500. Yeah, I'm telling you that the memory sticks that I put into my PC, I have two of them, 232s. Each one's over 1,200 bucks, and I think I paid $160 for each one. It's insane. All right, good absorption here. A good day at work, man. You live in Chicago? Or did you say the Metro? You going into Union Station? Vernon Hills, all right. right, taking a look at this candle right here. Kind of taking a look to see what kind of reaction we get there. Might take a short here on the closure of this footprint. The target of like the 21s. If we get it here, let's see. That was pretty slow right there. All right, so 20s is going to see a bounce. You know what? I'll leave this right here around the 18s, and we'll see what kind of reaction we get here. And it looks like they're buying this right back up. Let's give myself one more tick above here. It looks like they're coming in for it. Again, good flip. It was a reactionary zone for me. So I like the absorption there that they had on the orders here. So might get stopped out here. I felt like it was a pretty good risk there. Yeah, knocked out. Now, if this comes right back down to, what did I say? At least the 20s, I know they need to balance out. If they come down to the 20s after stopping me out by a tick, then we got something else different. Market's definitely after me, which is not true, but looks like it might happen again. There you go. You're gonna see they're gonna hit these 15s now. Now they're gonna come and I'm sorry, the 18s right here. Oh, that's phenomenal right there. That looks really nice. That's definitely going to bust into the 18s. That's for certain. I mean, you can't make this shit up. 2 ticks on 2 different one tick on, actually a tick on both trades. Both trades this morning. This could actually, this actually could go down to the 15s right here. And this is what, guys, this is the part of trading that psychology-wise will really knock you in your ass really hard. I mean, you guys should just start taking my entries on my stop loss. Should see them absorb here, the 18s, and then probably wick into the 15s, and then see a reaction off the 15s. At least that's what I see. All right, 18 minutes for the market open here. Yeah. Good job, Michael. Might dance around here a little bit at the 24s, but 18, I mean, I don't know. Might come right at around market open, maybe 5 minutes before market open, but for sure, I think a strong candle through the 18 and a wick into the 15s with a reaction back to the upside. Oh, it's trading. I did get a question from my Signal group. Says, Rob, why don't you use VWAP? I don't have anything against VWAP, but VWAP in general confuses my trading greatly. From whenever I've done a lot of my back testing, especially in my unbalanced volume areas, you know, there's a lot of different ways you can play VWAP. You can play, you know, mean reversion. You can play overextended. You can play longs only above VWAP, shorts only below VWAP. There's a lot of different ways to skin the cat on VWAP. However, this is just me personally, I feel like it confuses my my trading. And I know you're probably going to give me 100 examples, you know, where price reacts well off of VWAP or comes back as a magnet to VWAP. In theory, I think you could draw any line. You could draw any EMA. You could pick any number on any EMA that you want. And in hindsight, you'll make any line on your chart really work. I should say any moving line, not static line. Any moving line work. But again, and I'm not saying anything against VWAP. It just, for me personally, confuses my style of trading. You know, for me, I can see these, I can see the unbalanced volume extremely well. I can see the reactionary points in the market. For me, it's a entry. It's entry, TP, and stop loss, which is, again, probably the most important aspects of trading. And in this particular setup here, my trigger candle was this, this flip right here. You know, what I'd like to see in a little bit better confirmation on the actual candle? Yes, that would have been great. and the move was where I thought it was going to go. Granted, I think that the TP, first TP should be at the 74.18, so I probably would be still in this trade. Try to at least capture a 1 to 5. A 1 to 1.5, I'm sorry, not a 1 to 5. And again, I think that what's going to happen here is we're probably going to see a strong push, and then we'll just wick right into the 15s right here. And we're 10 minutes away from the market open, so algos are going to start kicking in pretty soon. But it still feels like that's the target. So a follow-up comment on that is that Nordic Sim says sometimes he uses VWAP to help with his entries or stop losses. As an example, I had yesterday's regular trading hour, so regular session VWAP on my chart, and put stop loss 1 or 2 ticks behind it. So my stop loss was, algos are kicking in right now. So my stop loss was set at the 74.28 75s. So the only thing I can challenge you on that is having a stop right behind VWAP, again, is kind of a risky proposition because, you know, if you go off of the theory on VWAP is that it is the fair price based on volume throughout the day. So that does act as a magnet. There's going to be institutional. It is a proven fact that institutional large hedge funds, large banks, small banks, anybody that's looking to put big position orders. In fact, I had a conversation with a, God, what is this position? God, it's not Morgan Stanley. What's the other big one that owns Thinkorswim? What's the company that owns Thinkorswim? Yeah, TD. So he works with them, and he specifically works in the. It was very cool. I had a phenomenal conversation with him for about 2 hours. He works in the department that, you know, it's a smaller department. It handles about 2,000 clients, and it's 2,000 of their, you know, bigger net worth clients. And, you know, they'll call in with an order of, you know, 50,000, you know, might be in options, or it might be just a stock purchase of like 50,000 Amazon or 50,000 Tesla. I mean, talking like huge positions. And, you know, they can't throw that into the market. You know, it's really like a market maker, not a market maker. I'm sorry. He's definitely not a market maker. He is working to try to fill his client at the best price without affecting the stock price. And majority of those most of those bigger traders, they specifically ask for VWAP fills. So they want it at VWAP as their fill. Now, that's not guaranteed that they're going to get it at VWAP, but that's what they try for. So it is a proven, sorry, that was not supposed to be a line there. It is a proven fact that, you know, big institutional players do use VWAP for their positioning. But again, if we go off of the theory of using VWAP for your stops or your entries, it's going to be, you know, again, it could work. Like anything can work. You know, you put your stop at the top of a flip here. This could be the perfect flip, perfect reversal for a 30-point move down on the ES with 3 points of risk. Awesome. But like VWAP and like volume in general, when you're in an area of high interest, okay, we can always re-tap back into it. It's going to act like a magnet. And if your stop's sitting a tick or two away from it, you kind of have a high likelihood too of that stop getting run as well. So it's something I think that as a trader, there's no harm in having it. I'm sure trust me, I've watched tons of videos on how traders trade it. Deviation bands off of VWAP, staying in the trend of VWAP. I get it. There's, you could honestly do that very similar with, like, again, an EMA. The thing I like about VWAP, which is kind of, for me, is great because it's volume based, but it has confused my setups when I have tried implementing it on my charts. That's just my 2 cents. AP, good morning. Yeah, Schwab. It's Schwab. It's Schwab. He works at Schwab. That's the company. Schwab bought out TD, and they merged, and now that's exactly what. And it was a fascinating conversation because I had always. You watch videos on market makers, how big hedge funds, but no one really knows, unless you work for them, no one really knows. And the fact that I got some validation from that, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. That specifically they're looking for VWAP fills. Now, he said they're not guaranteed to get them, but they try to do their best, and they do. If you've got 50,000 shares that you got to go short on, they don't throw 50,000 shares into the market because it's going to affect his price. So again, it's very cool. They'll look into areas where they can get a better price, where there's good liquidity, and whenever there's a market that's ranging, it's the best. It's really the most efficient portion of the market. It's what the market makers. That's how they profit the most. And it's how big institutional players will cut into the market without, super affecting the, in theory, that's kind of what these things are showing you, right? This is not retail. So again, for those just joining me, I've taken 2 ES shorts today, and it's been a rough morning already, to be honest with you. 6:30 was my first one. That was on my Lucid Funded, so that I got to switch over to right here. I took a short right here with a target of the 22s right here. That's where my target was set at. This is where my stop loss was set at. Got stopped out by a tick, and just to see the market go right down to the 22s. And then just took a short right here at the 74.23s. My target was going to be the 74.18s with the possibility of a sweep down to the 15s, and I got stopped out exactly to the tick. So, it's just been kind of a bad 3 days of nastiness. 2 minutes to the market open here, so I would not be into this trade right now at this point. But they're going to sweep the 18s here at the open. And again, I think they might go down to the 15s. We'll see. But I guess probability goes down a little bit more at market open. We'll see. And again, both of these trades, good risk to reward. 4 points for 8. The first one was 4 points for 10, 9.5. And to get stopped out on both of them by a tick is tough. All right, only thing missing there was the wick to down to the 15s that I was kind of anticipating, but they literally landed right on the 18. I was anticipating a wick to the 15 as well, but could have been wrong on that. That still could happen right here. Remember, 15's right here. Just a wick right there. Oh, funny shit, huh? Funny shit. Can't make this shit up, guys. All right. Let's see what else the market could give us here today. Market's got some good liquidity sitting down here, but again, I don't think this is going to be like a super bum rush into it. I think this would be more of a step down approach here. I get rid of this guy. Let's see if we can make some price discovery down to this 73.97, 73.89 area. This should be interesting. Wasn't really able to find any type of entry there off the key level at the 29,252. And this will die down. First 3-4 candles are probably increase this for the first 30 minutes of the market. Let's see what I have it set to. I think it's set. It might be set to 70. No, it's set to 100. You could probably bump this up to 125 on the big trades to minimize that, especially on the first 3-4 candles. Big position size coming in to the market. Not the prettiest price action here, but nice flip there. Fuck. Flip on the 120. Just price action's a little nutty right now. Let's see what kind of reaction we get here in this shaded box here at the 29,211 to the 29,190. Try to go down to the 30 range and see what kind of reaction we get down here. like those. I don't like those tap-ins like that. Don't like those tap-ins right there. That was a good flip right there. Stay out of this one. Don't like that tap right here. You saw the tap with the reaction. That usually keeps me out of those trades. And we didn't really have the full break of structure that I really like. Get rid of that guy. Let's keep looking. Super careful. We're just still kind of stuck in this range here. All right, buyers absorbing there, pretty good amount of contracts. Should see a bubble appear right here in 45 seconds. I should have this, I think, based on tick. I don't know how the performance on that's going to go if it make it on tick data. It's going to take a while for it to calculate, but let's see. I don't know. Let's see if how this is going to handle this or not. Like I said, we should have seen a bubble. It's still calculating right now, but bubble should be somewhere right around there. Again, for those who start just joining, took 2 shorts here this morning. This is my first short right here. Got stopped out right to my tick, right exactly to my stop loss, and it went exactly to my TP as well. And then took a trade earlier in the morning around, I don't know, 7:30, no, 6:30, 6:30, 6:30, right here. Right there, took a short, got stopped out again by a tick. So that one went up above my stop by a tick. The other one went right to my stop loss. And my TPs were at the 22s right there. A bit unfortunate today trading, but what are you going to do? There you go. There's the bubble. All right, so now I want to see how this handles this in real time here. Big buyer just stepped in right there. Order book is going absolutely berserk. I'm not seeing any bubbles on the real time, so I don't know. I guess we'll know at the 74.30s. Right there, they absorbed. No, they didn't. They're pulling orders really fast here. 74.30's got a good amount. Let's see if they absorb that. I should see a bubble right there if this is working in real time. Or if it's before it was set at the candle closure. Yeah, they just absorbed. I don't see anything. Keep that there and see if that pops up. I don't see it. I guess maybe I don't need to. Should be showing this to me in real time. Maybe my PC fan is not stopped running. All right, let's take a look at the NQ here, guys. I really like this zone here on the NQ, the 29,212s to the 29,187. We could definitely see a nice bounce back here. Almost limit order worthy. In fact, I think I'll set my top step X with the limit orders here. And that's going to be there, right there. It's not doing the preview. All right, got a 30-point ATM set here at the 29,212. And I'll be right back, guys. Sorry about that. Had to refill the coffee. I got a bite to eat. I was starving. You know what? I'm not gonna do that one. That one's gonna come right back into the range right here. So not really looking for that one. Let's see how the NQ reacts right here. Again, this is just what I kind of currently see. I don't know how violent it might be, but we should be revisiting this buyer unbalanced volume right here at the from the 7400s down to like the 7390s. Again, it would be kind of an aggressive dump here, but it's kind of looking that way. Let's see here how the NQ might react here. So that should have given you the wick. So let's see if the ES can break out of here. Let's see if the ES can break out of this shaded area here. That's pretty much from the 7440s down to the 7427s. Again, this is just a kind of preliminary bias, but I really anticipate here this piece of unbalanced volume here getting tapped into. Make a pretty nice kind of liquidation there. Again, you got a key level down here. It's tough to take AVT set up right here with this key level sitting down here. We are in a buyer controlled area here. So even though the buys look really good, I don't like the fact that that key level is sitting right there because that's going to act as a magnet as well. Take a short here. Did not get filled. I'm on the NQ. And tighten that stop a little bit there. And put the target right in front of this key level. There's a continuation here, guys. Come on. Nice trade. Oh, red to green. Pretty damn nice. 27 points on the NQ. And that was a play right here on the AVT. We came into this value area high And I was able to actually capture a nice flip on the 60 right here. Actually, my entry was pretty good. Nice trade. Excuse me. Something just hit the market. Be very careful here. Take that limit off there. I don't know, did we get any type of news that just hit? That was like a 60-point swing up and down. I don't know what the fuck that was. We just had some really funky price action there. I forgot I was in my Top Step X account, so I closed that out, I think at 15 points because I made $151. That was dicey though. I don't think this would have been the right, I don't know if there's any news that came out there or not. Yeah. Mother effer. Well, that one would have worked out for the 30 points. Alright guys, I'm going to call it for YouTube right now. It's been really just kind of an up and down day. Honestly, a very frustrating morning, early morning. Two really nice setups on the ES that got stopped out by ticks. Was able to at least get 27 points there on the NQ. Finished off the morning, well, finished off the stream plus 1400 for the day, but should have been a lot better than that. And again, I'm not really sure what happened here, but this was like almost a 50-point swing up and down. So I don't really know if headlines came out there or not, but it kind of spooked me there. That would have been the trade. All right, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cash Profit Friday tomorrow. I'll let you guys know what the code word will be for tomorrow. Take care.